Thank you for selecting Most Loved Wrestling, the place where wrestling is most loved. Finally, the day we've all been waiting for. Saturday comes Summerslam, and as per usual, with an event of this magnitude, we're all speculating who's going to return, who's going to be winning, who's going to become champion, retain their championship. And that's what I'm going to be doing right now by providing you my SummerSlam prediction. But before I do so, give me a like on this video, subscribe to my bullshit, and hit the notification bell. It helps with the algorithm. So if you like what I'm doing and believe that the world deserves to bear witness, then this is how you can make it happen. First, Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, Bron Breakker has to win. We can't afford a Bron Breakker loss under any circumstances. I think we can safely say that they shouldn't fuck it up this time. I see a world where Sami Zayn and Jey Uso are teaming up to dethrone the Judgment Day of the tag team titles, and then they're going to head off back into the Bloodline saga. So if that's the case, why would Sami need the Intercontinental Championship? He doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship. What Bron Breakker does. So with that logic, I'm predicting that Bron Breakker becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. Next, we've got Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. Logan Paul is a gangster. Logan's brilliant for the WWE. He's brilliant for business. But what he's terrible for is the mid-card of SmackDown. 2 defenses is horrendous. I think he's got Brock beat. LA Knight, just like Bron Breakker, cannot afford to get smoked. Luckily, and somehow, he's managed to stay popular, despite never amounting to anything. And I mean that from a championship perspective. But we can't guarantee that the man's going to be super over forever. So at some point, we've got to capitalize. At some point, we've got to turn this popularity into something tangible. And that seems to be Triple H's problem, capitalizing on popularity. Just ask Jey Uso and Otis if you need more references. So it's now or never for LA. We'll do this now, or the night train is over. And I think even Triple H can see that. So I predict that LA Knight is going to win and become the new United States Champion. Next, we've got Bayley versus the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Now I love Bayley, probably more than I love myself, but it is over. We have seen it. We have peaked on this one. Let her cool off and come back later. In my opinion, I think that Bayley has been a fair champion. People expect fireworks all the time. I knew exactly what we were signing up for at Mania. And if you didn't, then I'm sorry, that's on you if you're disappointed. And that's the truth. But it's still over, Triple H. It is done. Do not overdo it. Do not allow Bayley to overstay her welcome. Not every title reign has to be 666 days or 1316 days. It's okay for people to get smoked after 3 months. I'm not asking you to hot potato any championship, but let's just let the show progress. Please, unfortunately, don't think it's tiffy time yet. And the only way that I'm going to find that to be acceptable is if it's squashing time. And I think that's exactly what it's going to be. We need to make this year's Queen and King of the Ring amount to something. Triple H has done a good job with revamping that. The way to double down on it is to have the Queen and King of the Ring of 2024 go to SummerSlam and win. The Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble, they wouldn't matter as much if it wasn't for such a high percentage of their winners going on to become champion. And I can't be the only person that sees that level of common sense. I would hope the people that we entrust to book our entertainment has that level of common sense, because like I said, that would just be investing in future King of the Rings to be a major attraction and for us to care. So with that being said, I predict that Nia Jax becomes the WWE Women's Champion. Next is the People's Main Event. Well, half of the People's Main Event. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Okay, so it definitely makes sense for Rhea Ripley to come right back, smack up Liv and get her lick back. However, that would just be throwing money on the fire. This has legs, and making Rhea win this early in this rivalry is amputating those legs. Liv has to retain. She just has to. Let's not be stupid here. Make Dom accidentally fuck up the same way that he was fucking up shit for Becky Lynch. Don't make him directly align himself with Liv Morgan just yet. We can save that for later. There is way more to be seen in a loss for Rhea. We get to go back to the angle of Rhea being vexed with Dom, and you get Liv being doolally, still saying that Dominic loves me. So I'm predicting Liv Morgan, because that's what's best for business. Next, Gunther versus Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. This one has quickly become unpredictable and become one of the matches that I'm most looking forward to at SummerSlam. I'm pretty much looking forward to everything, being honest. Now it's funny, the match I'm least looking forward to is Nia versus Bayley, and that's still a match that I'm looking forward to. But anyway, Gunther and Priest. I see everyone saying that Damian should retain. They say because Damian's a victim of classism and is very similar to Triple H and Booker T. Some people are dumb enough to say that this is racism. Well, I'm not here to argue with stupid. Personally, realistically, I do not see the point in Damian winning. At least not a point that could make it worth selling Gunther, making Gunther get pinned 2 times in a calendar year. All we've built up on Gunther's back just to go sell him to Priest. Like, let's be real. we don't have nothing for Priest as champion in the long run. However, we do have something for Gunther in the long run. But I feel like on this occasion, on this odd occasion under Triple H's booking, we're gonna go with the short-term satisfaction and make Priest retain. And believe me, I was the first person before everybody else screaming that Damian Priest has been a quality champion. So that's nothing to do with why I believe that he should lose. It's just simply because it's not worth it. But nonetheless, I do predict that Damian Priest is going to retain. Next, we've got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. This one is unpredictable. But like Rhea and Liv, if Punk wins, it's kind of done. But if Drew wins, then we can get the most out of this. And I think that loss would come at the hands of Seth Rollins. He already laid down the law, and he also told Punk that he's not going to allow him to get revenge on Drew McIntyre. Seth and Punk was where we started nearly a year ago, and it's going to come full circle, and we're going to finally get the match that we was originally pitching for. So I predict a Drew McIntyre victory. And finally, the match that I believe is going to be the main event, that if certain things do not take place, should never be in the main event, but nonetheless, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, to keep it perfectly frank, Solo Sikoa needs to get his ass whooped. In no way should this man be winning. But you never know these days, especially when it comes down to the bloodline. The bloodline can do anything, and it will always make sense because there is always a way for them to pay it off down the line. Solo has been talking like he's crazy for weeks now about Roman Reigns. That cannot be for nothing. Roman has to be coming back, right? It would be a miss if he doesn't, no cap. Plus, this is the only way storyline wise I could buy Cody Rhodes retaining. The bloodline took out Kevin, they took out Randy. Rhodes is on his own. Solo ain't like Damian Priest telling his boys to stick in the back and make him go in alone. No, Solo wants the help, and that helps Jacob fucking Fatu. I'm sorry, but I don't see Cody winning by himself, and that's why I do believe that we are going to get the Roman Reigns return. And I also think that he's going to be rocking up with Jimmy and the Wise Man. Otherwise, let's be honest, we're kind of selling Jimmy's return. There's no way that he can return after Roman Reigns on a separate day. There'll just be no impact there, bro. It wouldn't work, no way. So I think that Cody retains because of Roman, whether it be due to a no contest or Roman serving up Solo to be pinned. So that's it. There's my predictions about SummerSlam 2024. Thank you for listening to my bullshit. Don't forget to leave a like. Remember to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.